Hello everyone, and welcome to your next 5-minute lesson. This week we have started the endocrine system, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about what a hormone is, and then we're going to go over all of the hormones that are secreted from your anterior pituitary gland. So hormones, I put a question mark next to them because what do you think of when you think of hormones? Well, the most obvious answer is you think of sex hormones. You think of going through puberty and releasing hormones and then becoming an adult. But really hormones are a lot more than that. Hormones are proteins that are secreted throughout your whole life, and they do various things for the body, whether it be going through puberty or stimulating other organs or glands or helping you grow or helping maintain your blood pressure or your water balance. They call it the second major controlling system of the body behind the nervous system, and the endocrine system really is. The endocrine system basically helps keep your body in homeostasis, making sure that nothing is drastically changing within there. And the master gland of this whole system is called the pituitary gland. And I wanted to show you this picture here because the pituitary gland is found within the brain. So I'm going to circle it for you. It's right there, okay? And it's part of the diencephalon. And we call it the controlling gland, or the master controlling gland, because it secretes so many different hormones that do so many different things. And it's important to remember that the pituitary gland is actually regulated by a nervous system structure, though, that you've learned previously called the hypothalamus. So the nervous system is still technically controlling everything that's going on here, but the endocrine system really isn't too far behind in what's going on in the body. So this is a chart just showing you all the different anterior pituitary hormones released from that gland, and we're going to go through every single one today and talk about them in a little bit more detail. So some of these hormones are going to target other glands to release other hormones, and those are the first three that we're going to talk about. So here is the ACTH hormone, or the adrenocorticotropic hormone, and yes, that is a mouthful, the adrenocorticotropic hormone. This hormone gets released from the anterior pituitary, and it goes into the bloodstream and travels to your kidneys. Sitting on top of your kidneys is that little triangular gland called the adrenal cortex. The ACTH is going to cause the adrenal cortex to release other hormones. So that's why we call it a tropic hormone, because it's targeting another gland to release a different hormone. And that's really all you need to know right now at this moment, is that ACTH is going to target the adrenal gland and cause the adrenal gland to release more hormones. Next, we have TSH, the thyrotropic, or as I like to call it, the thyroid stimulating hormone. Just makes it a little easier to remember. Once again, this hormone released from the anterior pituitary is going to travel in your bloodstream and go to your thyroid gland, which is right at the base of your neck. And in return, it's going to cause your thyroid gland to release more hormones into your bloodstream. So the main goal of thyroid stimulating is to stimulate your thyroid. Next, we have our gonadotropic hormones, FSH and LH, and I call them gonadotropic because they are targeting the gonads. Gonads are the sex organs, so it's going to be your ovaries for females and testes for your males. Now, the follicle stimulating hormone is going to stimulate the follicles to become mature in female ovaries. Follicles are kind of what surround and nourish the egg, so we're going to mature that follicle and get the egg ready to be released from the ovary. And in males, it's going to target the testes, and it's going to help with the sperm development. And then the luteinizing hormone, or LH, is actually going to help trigger the release of the egg from the ovary. We call that ovulation. And then in males, it's going to help stimulate testosterone production, which is the major male sex hormone. Now we're moving on to prolactin. Prolactin is unique for the anterior pituitary because it only really affects females. In males, the function as of right now is unknown, but in females, it targets the breast tissue, and particularly the mammary glands in that breast tissue, and it starts to produce milk when the woman is in her late pregnancy or is about to give birth or has given birth. So really, this is just to produce milk for the new infant. And then finally, over here, we have the growth hormone, GH. GH, you might have heard some people taking it, it's a steroid technically, to try to boost muscle mass if they're working out. But really, it's naturally produced in our body, and what it does is it helps to increase bone length and growing of that bone and increase muscle mass. So we see a spike in this when males are going through puberty because they're going through that big growth spurt and building muscle mass as well. So growth hormone really is released throughout the life, just in different amounts depending on where you are in your life cycle. So those are the 6 hormones released by the anterior pituitary. If you need to go back and watch this again, please do. Now please answer the questions below and submit as a PDF when complete. And thanks for watching.